Hey Adam, this is an internal video explaining how our Google authentication stopped working and how we have solved it. I will also explain what needs to be done in future to keep the service running. So what you're seeing on the screen is how we initially added Google authentication to SugarLearning. We were authenticating end users using a Google API endpoint that runs on what is known as OpenID 2.0 standard. This API endpoint returns a unique ID assigned to each end user so that the client application can look for a matching user account from the own implementation, in our case ASP.NET user tables. What happened was that this service was deprecated in May last year to be replaced with a new API endpoint that runs on the new standard called OpenID Connect. As you can see, the user ID generated by the new service looks completely different from the new one, the old one stored in our database, and cannot be used to find a matching account. So Google added a mapping data for the backward compatibility. And without noticing these changes, we continued to use the old endpoint until April this year, when Google shut down the service. As a result of this, we have lost Google authentication, and this is how it used to look about a week ago before the fix. So let's move on to the quick explanation of the changes we have made to get it working again. First, we modified our all-in configuration to talk to the new API. And in order to do so, we registered our application to Google Server and also configured to use this new API service. We then moved our authentication logic, modified it to look for a user account using the mapping data, then replace it with a new one. This is a one-off process, and we added a set of optimization code to minimize the impact to the overall performance. New users are registered with a new user ID, so the migration will complete when all existing users swap their old user ID to the new ones. So when does the migration has to finish? It's the 1st of January 2017 when Google ends the migration support by dropping mapping data from the response. Before this date, all user IDs needs to be migrated to a new one, and also the authorization code needs to be modified to drop the migration logic. I plan to set up a reminder email to be sent when the time comes so that we can apply appropriate changes. Today, I explained the reason why Google authentication was lost and how we fixed it, and also what needs to be done in future. Thanks for watching.